One of the reasons that selfie smartphones are so well received in our channel is that they sometimes offer more benefits than just selfies, such as having a great battery life and sometimes a surprisingly impressive camera performance. And what we have here today as our very first video of 2018 is the Vivo V7. It is the smaller sibling of the V7 Plus released a couple of months back, featuring the same 24-megapixel selfie camera and a 16-megapixel main camera. And obviously, it is cheaper than its larger sibling. Let's find out how it fares in our review. I have been using the larger V7 Plus briefly a while back, and moving to the V7 is an upgrade when it comes to aesthetics. As I don't really have large hands, the V7 is a more manageable device. The phone has the same great aluminum build and the golden stripe antenna lines found on the V7 Plus. The corners are also slightly curved for better handling, and the button placements are well within my thumb's reach. The SIM tray is also a great hardware feature that accepts 2 SIM cards and a micro SD card without compromising expansion. A fingerprint scanner is present on the back as usual. It works great and unlocks the phone instantly as soon as it detects my finger. The V7 can also be unlocked using your face. Though the technology isn't as sophisticated as the iPhone X's Face ID, it works most of the time in good lighting and jumps right into the home screen without requiring an extra step in swiping, which could be great to some who wants the extra convenience. Being a cheaper and smaller device, the V7 comes with half the internal storage of the V7 Plus and a smaller battery. But on the positive side, the phone still uses the same processor, RAM, and has a higher pixel density display. Hence, there isn't much to lose for paying 200 ringgit lesser than the larger V7 Plus. Since the day I received the V7, the phone is already running on the latest version of Android Nougat with the November 2017 security patch. Even though Vivo hasn't announced any plans for Android Oreo just yet, the V7 has already received the latest December 2017 security update at this point of time. So that's actually pretty impressive for a Chinese smartphone. Vivo's FunTouch OS remains mostly unchanged in terms of usability. You'll get used to it pretty easily if you come from iOS. You swipe down from the top for notifications and swipe up from the bottom for toggles. Even the settings app resembles iOS a lot, though you still get access to certain features faster than the latter. If you have seen my other smartphone reviews, you will know that I am not a fan of launchers like this, so I tend to install a custom launcher from Google Play to keep my home screen simple with the widgets I need. But if you are fine with what Vivo has to offer in the software department, I have to report that it performs decent. Features such as App Clone is pretty useful if you have multiple social accounts. Smart Click lets you perform certain actions by pressing on the volume down button when the display is off. And you can opt for gestures to navigate around instead of the on-screen keys. The Snapdragon 450 processor might disappoint some, and I have to agree with some folks that the phone deserves a Snapdragon 625 processor given its price point. However, if you aren't thinking to use the phone for running graphics-heavy games, it will do well enough for day-to-day smartphone tasks. Since smartphone performance isn't really the main focus of the V7, let's talk about the camera. This is probably the only smartphone that offers a 24-megapixel sensor on the front in the same price range, and that's pretty understandable as a selfie smartphone. But really, it's an overkill for selfies, not unless you want to crop your selfies or have them printed on a billboard. Otherwise, you don't really need that kind of resolution to take a selfie. I do, however, have to say that I'm quite impressed with its face beauty feature, which actually works well for my skin tone. Though I don't really use it all the time, there's also a portrait bokeh feature that blurs background if you require it. The main 16-megapixel camera, on the other hand, takes acceptable quality photos, and like most other selfie smartphones, don't expect it to perform great in low light conditions. I've never had a problem with battery life on Vivo smartphones. The V7's 3000 mAh battery can easily hold up a day with casual social media browsing and heavy texting, and most of the time I'll only need to charge it in the next day. Quick Charge 3.0 unfortunately isn't available, so it is going to take a while to charge the phone. 4G and Wi-Fi reception is decent, though it's a shame that the chipset doesn't support LTE Advanced and 5GHz Wi-Fi. At 1299 ringgit, the Vivo V7 faces tough competition over other smartphone brands, but it does have a few advantages to win our hearts over. Firstly, a more compact form factor that is easier to handle, a 24 megapixel selfie camera, and a reliable Snapdragon 450 processor, which is way better and more future-proof than a MediaTek solution when it comes to software support. What are your thoughts on the V7? Drop me a comment down below, share and give us a thumbs up if you like this review, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more weekly tech videos, while at the same time, do click on the bell icon next to it so you wouldn't miss any of our uploads. This is Warren with KLGadgetTV, and I'll see you soon in the next one.